Professor Hans Hilgenkamp. Professor Hilgenkamp, thank you so much for being here today, all the way from the Netherlands. We really enjoyed your talk at the Educating Socially Engaged Scientists and Engineers, and you spoke a little bit about this new organization called the Global Young Academy. And I was hoping to hear you speak about that and the experiences you had, and how you think that model might be helpful in Canada.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here as a foreigner here in your National Science Policy meeting. So, academies of sciences exist for a long time already in many different countries. There are more than 100 academies of sciences. And usually you're elected into the Academy of Sciences at the end of your career. After a long, prestigious career, you become elected as an honor into the Academy of Sciences, which is very nice because it recognizes eminent scientists. But at the same time, academies of sciences also play an important role in advising governments on policy issues and science policy issues and ethical issues and scientific issues. And for this, it's also very good if you would include the voice of younger scientists into it. Let's say a typical age group of around 40 or 35 or 45 years old, who are now not very well represented in academies of sciences. And this is recognized as a problem by many academies of sciences. And in Germany, they were quite early with trying to find a means to counter this. 12 years ago, they established a National Young Academy of Sciences, where they elected young scientists into a young academy. And you would have, let's say, 50 young scientists, typically of 35 years old, within 10 years after their PhD, to interact with each other, so scientific interaction, but also to interact with people who are doing science policy, funding agencies, governments, ministries, and also interact with the general audience. So the younger scientists are much, let's say, for media, they are quite an attractive group of people because they communicate quite well with the general audience, with younger people. And this has been a very successful thing in Germany. In the Netherlands, where I come from, they've basically copied this idea 5 years ago. And I was one of the first members of the Young Academy of the Netherlands. And also in the Netherlands, it worked very well. So we have a lot of interactions with science, with policymakers, with politicians, with the general audience, with media. And in the meantime, the international, let's say, an overarching organization of academies of sciences is called the IAP. They launched an initiative to connect young scientists with the World Economic Forum. So this is this big organization where politicians and people from business meet each other, but where science was always very absent. And they introduced young scientists in the World Economic Forum. And this gave us a possibility to meet with young scientists from all around the world, literally from all around the world, from Madagascar to Canada, from New Zealand to Chile. And we thought we should use this possibility to form a global organization of young scientists. And this is called the Global Young Academy, and it's a kind of global version of these national young academies as they exist and have been proven to be very successful in Germany and the Netherlands. And this Global Young Academy tries to help young scientists in their own countries to provide a platform for these young scientists to communicate with politicians, with media, with each other internationally, with more senior scientists. Also help them to establish such entities as national young academies in their own countries. And in the meantime, this has been taken over by Sweden, by Japan, by Nigeria, by Sudan. There are many countries where young academies are being formed as a kind of young branch of their already existing academies of sciences. And in this Global Young Academy, we also try to address global issues like the energy problem, like pandemic diseases, with a global perspective from young scientists, trying to come up with original ideas how to counteract global problems and communicate, for example, with the United Nations or with World Economic Forum or with big multinational companies to form, make solutions using the capacity of young scientists in their own countries. So you have to imagine that young scientist who gets into the Young Academy from a country like Uganda has a big network of excellent young scientists and students in their own countries who are really committed and willing to contribute to solving problems that are of importance for the continent of Africa or even globally. So that's it's a nascent thing. The national young academies already exist in various countries. Many more countries are following this concept, and this global young academy has now been launched also this year as a global version of that.
Great. Thank you very much for being here and for telling us about this great new organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much.